Hi, this is Ms. Sek. This is a pre-recorded class for Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. Today we're going to talk about multiplying polynomials. During this video, I expect you to be taking notes in your math journal. If you left your math journal in your locker at school, I expect you to be taking notes on paper. So please pause the video and go get some paper. Okay, let's review some vocabulary. A variable is a letter that represents an unknown number. A constant is a number that has no variable, where a coefficient is a number that multiplies a variable. There are two different variables here. A 2 multiplies x. There are two different variables here, so there are two coefficients. 2 multiplies x and 4 multiplies y. Let's review some polynomial vocabulary. A polynomial is an expression that has two or more terms. A monomial is one term. A binomial means two terms. A trinomial means three terms. The distributive property is multiplication over addition. And an area model is when you multiply a length and a width of a rectangle. Okay, let's review adding polynomials. I'm waiting for a video.
Another method that can be used when adding polynomials is a vertical method. In this example, we're going to take the first polynomial and we're going to put it on top of an addition statement. So I'll take 3x squared minus x minus 3, and I'm going to take my second polynomial, which is right here, and I'm going to line it up underneath the first one with like terms beneath each other. So I have 3x squared in my first polynomial. I have negative x squared is the similar term in the second polynomial. And since we're adding, we keep the signs the same. So we also have plus 3x, and we have minus 1. So you'll notice that the two polynomials have been arranged vertically with like terms on top of each other. Positive 3x squared minus 1x squared. Just keep in mind, even though you don't see the 1 there, that is like having a 1. So 3x squared minus 1 will leave us with 2x squared. Negative 1x plus 3 was going to leave us with a positive 2x. And negative 3 subtract 1 more will leave us with negative 4. And that is your vertical method for addition, and here is your simplified.
Okay, let's practice adding polynomials. So here we have an example, 4x plus 3 in parentheses plus 2x plus 4 in parentheses. If we're just adding them, we can drop the parentheses. And then we're going to combine like terms. So the coefficient, 4x plus 2x, 4 plus 2 is 6, so 6x. And the constants, 3 plus 4 is 7. Let's practice. I'm going to do the first one, and I'd like you to pause the video and do the second and third one before I go over the answer. So 3x squared plus 4x squared. 3x plus 4x squared is 7x squared. 2x, and there's no x on the other term, so it's just the 2x. And then we're going to add the constants. 3 plus 4 is 7. So we're going to combine like terms. 3x squared plus 4x squared is 7x squared plus 2x plus 7. One x squared plus 2x squared. We combine like terms, get 3x squared. 1x minus 1x Actually, that's a zero pair. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So we can cross the x's out. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So the answer is 3x squared plus 4. Two x plus 5x is 7. 1 plus 6 is 7. So this is 7. 2x plus 5x is 7x. 1 plus 6 is 7. So this is 7x plus 7. If you didn't understand this, that means you didn't pause the video before you did 2 and 3. So I want you to pause, rewind, do 2 and 3, and then watch the video again so that you can understand this.
Hello, we're going to be multiplying polynomials using algebra tiles. So we're going to start with multiplying a monomial by a binomial. The x is the monomial, the x plus 3 is the binomial. So here's how we set up the mat for algebra tiles. This side we're going to put the monomial x, because we're going to times it by x plus 1, 1 and 1 is 3, so x plus 3. So x times x is x squared. So we're going to drag this over here. We're going to do a lot of drag and drop. And x times 1 is just x. We're going to drag and drop this x here. And again, x times 1 is x. And x times 1 is x. Next thing we're going to do is look at what we have now. And we're going to determine if we have any like terms. So we have x squared. We don't have anything this size, so no like. But we do have these 3 x's. These 3 x's are alike. So the product is going to be x squared. Let me just copy this here. I put this here for you guys to make it easier. X squared plus 3x. So in order to simplify, x times the quantity x plus 3, it simplifies into x squared plus 3x. And we can show it using using our algebra tile. So here's x squared plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is plus 3x. Now we're going to do another one. The next one we're going to do is x minus 1 times 2x plus 2. So here's x and minus 1, and here's 2x plus 2. So x times x, again, is x squared. And we have another x times x, which is x squared. And x times 1, anything times 1 is just it's the anything, it's the x. So x times 1 is x, and we do it twice. It's 2 of them. And x times 1 again is x. Now we have another one here, and we have a minus 1. So x times minus 1 is going to be minus x. And x times minus 1 again is minus x again. So minus 1 times x gives me minus x. And here we have minus 1 times 1. We get minus 1. And again, we get minus 1 times 1 again. We're going to drag and drop minus 1 again. All right, so now we want to combine like terms again. So we have x squared plus x squared. We're going to combine these. So how many x squareds do we get? We get 2x squared. All right, copy and paste this. So 2x squared. Now let's look at the x's. We have 2x and we have minus 2x. Oh, well 2x minus 2x is just 0x. These are called like zero pairs. So 1x and minus 1x is 0, and 1x and minus 1x is 0. So that's just 0x, and we don't have to put that. And lastly, we can combine negative 1 plus negative 1, and we get minus 2. So in order to simplify x minus 1 times the quantity 2x plus 2, it simplifies to 2x squared minus 2.
Okay, so now let's try multiplying using algebra tiles. Okay, now write this down and we'll do it together. Pause the video, draw this, and then we'll do this together. Okay, x times x is x squared. So draw the x squared. X times 1 is 1x. X times 1 is 1x. X times negative 1 is negative x. And negative x times 1 is negative 1. And negative x times 1 is negative 1. So we combine like terms. There's x squared. Now we have 1 0 pair. So after we cross out our 0 pairs, we're just left with 1x and then negative 2. So our answer is x squared plus 1x minus 2. The answer is x squared plus 1x minus 2.
Hello, we're going to be multiplying polynomials using the box method. Now, another word for the box method is an area model. So it's called an area model because we're going to be using a rectangle and we're going to be multiplying the length times the width. And when you multiply length times width, you get the area. And in this case, our length is going to be the monomial x, and our width is going to be the binomial x plus 4. So x times x plus 4, and this is where we're going to get the area. And another name for the area in our case is going to be the product. So let's get started. Our first step is to multiply. We're going to get partial products. So x is the monomial times x plus 4 the binomial. So we're going to multiply x times x. And we get, if we multiply x times x, we're going to get x squared. And next, we're going to multiply 4 times x. For x times 4, same thing. And we get 4x. Now, the whole product would be this side plus this side added together. But in this case, it's x squared and it's 4x. So we're going to add those together. And that's how we're going to get our answer. The answer is going to be x squared plus 4x. Plus 4x. Okay, so we simplified and we had x squared plus 4x. Okay, so now we're going to do one that's not a monomial times a binomial. We're going to do a binomial times a binomial. And in this case, we're going to do x minus 8 times x plus 4. So first thing we do, we're going to multiply x times x and x times 4. When we multiply those two things, we get x squared and 4x. So you should notice that, that this is something we just did. So let's go back here. So we got x times x plus 4, and we got x squared plus 4x. We just did that. Now we're going to multiply negative 8 times x, and we get negative 8x. And then we're going to multiply negative 8 times 4, and we get negative 32. All right, negative 8x and negative 32. So when we multiply these, we have 4 terms. And the next step, it says to combine like terms. So we need to look and see, do we have anything that's alike? And if we do, we're going to circle them. So with x squared, do we have any more x squareds? Nope. And this one doesn't have a variable. Do we have anything else that's a constant that doesn't have a variable? Nope. But we do have 4x and minus 8x. They're on a diagonal. We can combine these two. So I'm going to circle these because these are like terms. And we're going to combine those. First thing we do, we're going to write down our answer. And we're going to start with x squared. And now we're going to look at the 4x and the minus 8x. We're going to look at the coefficients. So we're going to combine those. Negative 8 and 4. If we combine those, we get minus 4, and we keep the same variable, and the constant 32. And that's our answer. That's our answer. Thank you.
Okay, let's try using an area model to multiply 3 plus x times x minus 2. Please write this problem down. Okay. Okay, we're going to multiply x plus 3 times x minus 2. X plus 3 times x minus 2. So here we have x plus 3 and x minus 2. So we're going to start. So did you pause the video if you haven't written it down and drawn the area model, because we're about to do this together. Oh, this would it. X plus 3 times x minus 2. Okay, now x times x is x squared. X times x is x squared. Now x times negative 2 is negative 2x. X times 3 is 3x. And 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So now we need to combine like terms. So we need to add 3x minus 2x. Well, 3x minus 2x is 1x. So our answer is x squared plus 1x minus 6. So our answer is x squared plus 1x minus 6 using the error model. Okay, we're waiting for a video.
Hi, we're going to multiply polynomials using the distributive property. Can you quickly multiply in your head 3 times 67? All right, just take a minute. 3 times 67. Here are two ways of many that you can use to solve this problem. All right, the first way we could do it, we could do 3 times 60 and then add 3 times 7. So it's 3 times the 60 and add 3 times the 7. So if we do 3 times 60, we get 180, and 3 times 7, we get 21. Add those together, we get 201. Another way, we could do 3 times 70, and then we can add 3 times a negative 3, because 70 minus 3 gives you 67. So 3 times 70 is 210, and 3 times a negative 3 is negative 9. So 310, subtract the 9, and you get 201. Those two ways that we did 3 times 67 is called the distributive property. So basically what we did was we took apart the 67 and made it into two numbers, 70 plus negative 3. And we did 3 times 70 plus 3 times negative 3. We can apply that to variables. Instead of 3 times 70 minus 3, we could do x times x plus 3. So we could take x times x, and we could take x times 3. So x times x is x squared, plus x times 3 is 3x. Now, let's apply that to a real problem. X plus 9 times x minus 4. So it's two quantities. X plus 9 is one quantity, and times x minus 4. So step 1 would be to multiply the second binomial, this is the second one, by the first term in the first binomial. Here's the first binomial, and x is the first term. So we're going to multiply x times the quantity x minus 4. X times the quantity x minus 4. And when we do that, we get x times x is x squared, and x times minus 4 is minus 4x. Then we do the second step. We're going to multiply the second binomial by the second term in the first binomial. Here's the second binomial, and here's the first term, the second term in the first binomial. So 9 times x minus 4. So that means we're going to do 9 times x minus 4, and we get 9x minus 36. So altogether we get x squared minus 4x plus 9x minus 36. And that equals, well, now I'm underlining the like terms, because the third step is to combine like terms. So minus 4x plus 9x are like terms. And when we combine like terms, we are going to actually combine the coefficients. Minus 4 plus 9. And minus 4 plus 9 is equal to 5x. So the solution is x squared plus 5x minus 36.
Okay, we're going to multiply this using distributive property. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply. Oh, did you write the problem down? Because if you have not written the problem down, pause the video. We're going to multiply x times x and x times negative 1. So x times x is x squared, and x times negative 1 is negative 1x. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply the second term to everything in the parentheses. So 6 times x and 6 times negative 1. Okay, 6 times x is 6x, And 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Now, the last thing we have to do is combine like terms. So our like terms are negative 1x and 6x. So this is x squared. Negative 1x plus 6x is 5x. And then minus 6. So that's the answer. The answer is x squared plus 5x minus 6. So this is going to be the vocabulary activity for the line paper assignment. So the vocabulary activity for the line paper assignment is to take these 3 strategies and put them in the Frayer model. And the math activity is to solve 5 problems. So I'll see you next week. Thank you very much. I will have office hours on Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Google Meet. Bye.